Just give me a second
Little party.
and hope that it's working. It doesn't want to be.
What? Oh, Facebook's telling me you're live.
Yeah,
We're
we are live,
partway
but we're not
there.
live in the group. So you go. Just go. We'll fix up the
Okay.
recording.
Good morning. Hello, world. Welcome to this week's this panel discussion through the Ignite, Innovate and Inspire Empowerment Program. Welcome to the panel discussion called, well, WTF is Human Design. We all know what WTF is, and as much as I would love to use the actual word on the live space, I'm going to use fork. So if everyone is wondering what fork is, it's what the fork is human design. Another terminology. So we have some beautiful panelists here today with us. We have Beck, Carey, Lucy Ellis, and Sunny, all going to share their beautiful expertise around human design, which is your unique blueprint. Now, before we go any further, this panel discussion today is going to be quite live and interactive. So if you are here watching live, please say hello. Please shout your name out to the world. Please tag us so we know that you are here. And we have two participants from my Aligned by Design tribe, which I'm so grateful that they are here today, that are willing to share their human design chart with us with a couple of questions that they have about their human design chart. Because one thing that I know for certain, and I'm sure everyone will agree with me here, human design is such a massive rabbit warren of information. You can start here and you can end up down there. I have been personally on my own human design experimental journey for 11 years now. And the amount of things that I am still learning and still understanding and still coming through are just blows my mind, continually blows my mind. So let's dive into, I want to give it a bit of an introduction to each of our panelists today and share with you their beautiful expertise. I'm going to introduce to you our two beautiful participants today that will be talking with on their human design charts, and we're going to share a little bit about what human design is as well. So I think I'm going to hand the floor over to these beautiful women to let themselves introduce themselves. Okay. So first, I might start with you, Sunny. Give us your little intro. Tell us about you. What do you do? Love to hear from you, hun.
Well, thank you. It's such an honor to be here to share and learn things. And my name is Pei Ming Sun. I living in United States, but original from Taiwan. And human design to me is a system I using daily, particularly in I am molecular biologist by trade. So I get into the DNA level for 30 some
Wow.
years. But when I get into the human design, I said, wow, this is different level of knowledge, right? I'm the 1-4 profile. One is the rabbit hole, every hole, I just want to jump into it. And so I using that as a tool, but I really focus on the gene keys side, because gene keys for me is the
Mm.
other level of the molecular biology.
It
And
is next level, isn't it?
yeah, so I using that for the tool, I call it the holistic formula. And I
Mm-hmm.
made that transmission, the gene keys into 3 steps, tune up, clean up, and speak up. And I think that is the
Wow.
transformation process everybody experience. So I'm happy to
Yeah.
be here and share what I see and everything I saw, the profile, this amazing profiles I have. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Lucy, you're up next. Tell us about you and what you do.
Hello, thank you so much for inviting me along to be here. I'm really excited about anything human design and talking anything human design because, yeah, like you say, Alison, it is a bit of a rabbit hole and there is lots to absorb. And
Mm,
so I've been a hypnotherapist and psychotherapist for, gosh, 15 years now. And over the last 3 to 4 years, I've started incorporating human design into my sessions with my clients, which really helps them to understand themselves more or deeper on that energetic level, and I suppose guide them back home to themselves, which is what I do with my therapy. But human design allows them to just, oh yeah,
it kind of
me.
speeds up the process, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. That's just who I am. And now I can relax into that, because quite often a lot of people have spent their life trying to be who they're not. And human design says, well, this is who you are, and it's okay to be you. And I think that that's very, very powerful.
The biggest permission slip in the century, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
And that's the thing, is that I find that a lot of people get overwhelmed with the information that it comes to human design. What I have found through experience is that people get their chart and they go, what the fork, right? And then they throw it to the side, right? Because they don't want to know about it. It's too much information. They don't know where to start, which, is quite important too. So there is a starting point, but it's not necessarily the same starting point for everybody. And I just want to reiterate that this is a science of differentiation. It is not meant to be the same. Not everyone is meant to start on the same race. So Beck, let's listen. Let's hear from you. What do you do? Tell us about your human design journey.
My human design journey is that I was working for a long time as an engineer, and I was quite unhappy in that. And then I started working actually with Lucy in 2020, and she was starting to learn about human design, and she showed me my chart, and I remember being, what the fork is that? And why is she showing me when I'm so overwhelmed with my life? And really what she told me, the only thing that stuck was that I'm a generator, and I'm here to bring the energy and do things that light me up. And just that knowledge just changed the way I was looking at everything. So I'm working 2 days a week as an engineer, and on the other days I do human design readings and Reiki therapy. And I really have found human design is I'm still in, after 3 years, strategy and authority deconditioning, because it's just a tool to find yourself, but you just have to do it over and over and over again, and follow your energy and remind yourself it's okay to be you. So that's, anytime I'm in struggles now, I pull out my human design, and I can always find something that reminds me that what I'm here to do and what I'm here to be. And when I'm just being myself, I can just shine.
I really like that. I really do like that. Thank you. It's I know I've said it before, it is such a rabbit warren, and you do get it. And the funny thing is too, and please let me know if you thought the same. When you first read about your human design types, you're like, I want to be the manifester. I want to be the manifester because I'm a manifester and I can manifest anything. Like, I'm a legend. And then you find out you're a generator and you're like, what the fork? Like, I'm not a manifester.
I was just disappointed to be the most common one. Yeah, not
I know. Well, that was me too. I was like, really? I'm 70% of the population. Are you kidding me? Like, I can't be different. But there is a difference, Alison. There is a difference. And 11 years on, I have learned that very much so. But if you're afraid of finding out, for those who are watching, and good morning, Julia, and good morning to Carissa. If any of you are watching and you don't have your human design chart yet, please go and get your human design chart. I'm sure the link will go up in the comments from our beautiful VAs who are assisting us today. But I really just go and get your human design chart. Do not be disappointed. Actually look at it as a permission slip to do whatever the fork you actually want, because that is the whole point of human design, is to learn about yourself on such a deep level that you show up authentically, right? So let us introduce what human design is. I know we've had a bit of an introduction and a brief outline, but human design is, I see it as your key to success. It is information that you are already born with. Human design is also a proven system that reveals how unique you actually are and has the power to show you how to actually activate all of that energy. Now, whether you start out just learning about your strategy and your authority, which is really the bare bones of human design when you look at it, or whether you go deep down the rabbit hole and you're like into the perspectives and the environments and you're like, it doesn't matter where you start. I just really wanted to reiterate that because I know that there is a lot of information. You can Google the heck out of human design and you will find so much information. What I have found and what I believe that all of these experts would do would meet you where you're at, which is where I want to introduce our participants, who we are going to meet where they are currently at on their human design charts today. So we have the beautiful Jennifer Regular, who is coming in from Canada, and our beautiful Trina D, who is coming in from the northern New South Wales in Australia. Welcome, ladies. I know that you thank you for coming on and being willing to share your charts and your questions and your vulnerability here today with our experts. I really, really appreciate you. Just a quick question to you both. What have you uncovered about human design for yourself so far? I would love to know just how long you've been on your journeys. So both Trina and Jen, I'm going to get you to come on just in a moment. How long you have been practicing your human design and what has brought you today to actually ask these questions. Just a brief overview, just so the people watching, good morning, Jamie and Joyita and a few others, just so they can have a concept of where you're at so they can meet you too. So we might start with you, Jen.
All
I'm going to let my dog out as you start talking.
Yes, I am. I've been a part of Allison's Aligned by Design tribe probably for about a year now, maybe a little bit longer, in and out of it because, life happens. But I always come back to it because I find it really interesting and I find I need a guide to help me along in the journey because when I can just print out my chart and look up the information myself, it is overwhelming. It's too much. And I love that in the tribe, we get to tackle one aspect of it, and really work with that and connect with the energy of the gene keys lately as well for that week and be able to see how it all fits together, but also understand each aspect of it in a deeper way. Lately we've been talking about the arrows, for example, and what they mean. And then, but it started out, like you said, Allison, about the strategy and the authority. And so I'm a generator and I know I'm a 3-5 profile. And sometimes I have to look up and remind myself about what that actually means, So it's a lot to wrap your head around, but I really like it for defining my purpose and my messaging in what I'm here to express through my human design. I'm really fascinated by all of that. So I think that's what draws me to it the most. And of course, hearing you speak about it, you've been on my podcast a couple of times, Allison, talking about the energetics and human design in business. And so the more I hear about it, the more I want to know. And of course, personally, I've been on Sunny's podcast where she interviewed me around my whole profile and what she discovered through that and the gene keys and how I show up in the world. And so I love learning about myself. I love the whole journey of evolution and self-discovery. And so, yeah, it all just fascinates me.
That's so cool. And it's a fascinating experiment and one that you can, like you said, play with. You can dip your toe in, dip your toe out again, come back to it. It's just one of those things that just keeps going around and around for us. So thank you for sharing that. It's so lovely. Trina. Oh, sorry, Jen. How long have you been on your journey for? I forgot to ask.
Yeah, I think it's been about a year or a little longer than a year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Righto. Sweet. Trina, what about you, my love? Good morning.
Firstly, hi. Thank you for having me here and much appreciated. Well, I've been in Alison's human design tribe. Is it a year? Over a year? I don't know. Time
Yeah,
flies when you're
probably.
having fun. The times I have called in there, I fully appreciate it. It is massive. It is over my head. Alison, I find you simplify it. The forecasting is a very interesting part of it.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing how I find that I align with many of the traits. I'm a manifesting generator. I do know that.
Good girl.
And
That's okay.
I am very curious to learn more. And on my journey of the self-discovery, every little bit helps, because sometimes it's like walking around in the middle of a football field, not knowing which direction to go. Any little bit of tidbit. Thank you.
Insight. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That is one thing for me when I first started my human design, you know, and I'm talking 11, 12 years ago when I first discovered it. I started with the strategy and authority. And that's like I said earlier, that's the bare basics that most people start with, right? You find out you're a generator, you do your chart, you find out you're a generator, and then you go, what the fork am I supposed to do with that? So then you go, you do a bit of a Google, you read about it, and it tells you to start with your strategy and your authority. You're like, okay. So then you start with that, right? And that's where most people start, and that's perfectly normal and okay. What tends to
Emotional
happen then?
plexus. That's all I
Yes,
know.
see, you know your shit. Don't worry, you know your shit. You're doing well. You're doing well, right? Now, oh, you make me laugh, Trina. A lot of our chart actually shows us so much information, as these women have said before. So for me as a generator, I'm designed to respond as part of my strategy. So I'm designed to respond to everything. Brushing my teeth, making a cup of coffee, going to bed, going to work, going to anything in my life as a generator. That is my design. I'm to respond. However, I can get hooked up in the trap of responding to the wrong things because I'm not listening to my authority, right? And my authority here as a generator is a sacral yes or no. It's very simple. Yes or no. Do I have the time for this? Nope. Do I want to do this? Nope. Right? And I have to listen to that inner guidance. So anyone who is here watching who has their human design chart, my recommendation, start there. Start with your type, start with your strategy, start with your authority. I know I've said that you don't have to, but those three things will get you the energy moving quite quickly. You'll find that you naturally already do this particular thing. I noticed that when Jen and Trina came into the tribe, they were already following their response. They were already following, and it just means that they had a little bit of tweaking and things shifted. So, as I was saying, a lot of information with human design, but human design has some powerful, impactful pieces of information. And one of those is our incarnation cross, which when you look at your human design chart, and for those who are watching, I have one here. This is my husband's looking at it. So when you look at your human design chart, your incarnation cross consists of the first top two numbers on this side and the first top two numbers on that side. It will generally give you a name of LAX, RAX, JUX, and then a name or a term, a word. So in this case, for this particular chart that I was showing you, it's the LAX of alignment. This particular thing shows us what our purpose is, right? With the sun and the earth combined, it shows us our purpose, right? And I would love to go around the room and ask these beautiful women here, how do you, when you look at an incarnation cross, we'll start with you, Sunny. When you look at an incarnation cross, how do you find the information? Like it's not the right question. It's not how do you find the information. When you read the information on someone's chart, how do you interpret that for somebody?
Sure. The first things I look is the profile number, right? It's like a 1435. So I kind of know their DNA expression level because I'm more like the quantum view for the energy. So if they are 1-4, I automatically think, oh, that's the detailed person. 4 is really friendly. They want to share everything. They're out there to social. So I can start from there. But then because the gene keys, the personality, sun and earth, they mean the doing parts. But the design part is the being and the radiance and the purpose. So then I can actually, other than look out Ray's books, because I read that every day, while you talk about the differentiation. I read that, so I have the description about that, but I also go to my gene keys to say, oh, something make you healthy and happy. That's your radiance key. That's your design sun. And then I will may say, oh, I just kind of guessing. Did you like to do this and that? And they will say, oh yeah, why not? Yeah, I enjoy that. And also the purpose is get them an idea about purpose is not what we do. Purpose is really what we already have, right? We come with it, it's in the beingness. So when them to say, oh, I didn't do my, I have no idea about like purpose and I'm struggling clarity side, I say, well, wait, you don't need to do anything. Just slow down and contemplate and accept. So I would just kind of stop on there, let them know you got everything you need. Don't worry about it. You don't need to know the number, but you got a perfect alignment because that incarnation in Jinki is also the prime gifts. So you already got this amazing gifts. Then why you still worry? You just need to unleash them. So that's how I stop at that point. Let them to know, hey, we got power. Don't need to worry.
That's it. And what I have discovered too, and please correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of people have that doubt within themselves. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what I'm here for. And I know that these two beautiful ladies have asked the same question today, which is why we're talking about incarnation crosses in particular. Is like, what am I here to serve and my purpose is, right? That's the $1 million question I think every woman has, and especially every other woman who runs businesses. What am I here for? What are my gifts? What am I supposed to be doing? Tell me, give me all the information, right? So Lucy, what's your interpretation of the incarnation cross and where would you look when it comes to it?
Yeah, sure.
We're going to dive into these two women very shortly.
Awesome. I'm so excited. My sacral's like, let me at them. Let me at them. When are we going to talk about Trina and Jennifer? So yes, off the back of what Sunny said, first of all, looking at the profile, and you're either here, your time on this, here in this life form today, now, for to kind of clean up the karma of the collective or yourself or both. And so if you, for example, I'm a 5-1 profile, so that's left angle cross. That means that I'm here to clean up the karma of the collective or help the collective clean the karma up.
Be in service,
To be in service, that's right. And so, but for example, 6-2 is sorry, that's also to be in service of the other.
That's the left.
A 1-3, for example, is a right angle cross, and they're here to clean up the karma of themselves, to really focus in on what's important for them. So I first of all look there, and then also exactly what Sunny said. Yes, we look at the conscious sun and earth, unconscious sun and earth placements, what line that which makes up their profile as well, but where their gates are. But also to know that we have arrived with our purpose in us, and it actually sits in our G center. And so the G center is pulling us into our purpose. And if we just come to our strategy and our authority and live life from that place. I know it is the bare bones, but it's also the most, I think, powerful place to keep coming back to and keep reminding ourselves about. Then that will be enough to the G center to pull you into those right environments for you. So yeah, that's what I would like to add to that.
Thank you. That's wonderful. And it's super important that even though our sun and earth may not be in our G center, right, those gate numbers, our G center holds a magnetism, right? So if you think, I often see the human design chart centers as our chakras, right? And that G center is our heart chakra. I know that the little ego is will, but I have a different perception on what that is. So for those watching, all of your centers are those square boxes and triangles and diamonds that correspond to different numbers and gates and energy that actually become who you are, right? And how you process life. The G center that Lucy was just talking about is that little diamond shape that people have in the center, right? So you think about it, you've got your head, your ajna, your throat, your heart, your sacral, your root, right, in the chakra system. And then I see these little 3 extra ones as our humanness, right? So we have our intuition and our fear through our spleen, our ego center, which is like, the little Betty that talks in the back of the brain going, do you really want to do that? Are you sure? I don't think you have the ability to do that. That's your ego, right? And then you have our emotions. We're human beings having an emotional experience. So I correspond those to our chakras, but I also see them a little bit differently. But that was what Lucy was talking about. And that heart center is our magnetism, right? They call it the magnetic monopole, but we won't go into the depths of that little language piece. But just know that in your heart, you are magnetic. It's been scientifically proven that our heart is a magnetic device, right? And this is electromagnetic, and then this is the magnetic piece. So use that magnetism to allow your incarnation cross, however that shows up in your life, as part of that magnetism, as part of that expression. Beck, what's your interpretation of an incarnation cross?
I'm not sure about my interpretation, but when I do readings, if people ask about their purpose, of course, I'm going to try and address it. But most of my readings are with people that are fairly new to human design. So I do really go back to strategy and authority, because I believe if you follow that, you will live out your purpose. And for me, when I found out my incarnation cross, it didn't really hit at all. It was just information that I just kind of went like, oh, I don't really know how that is helpful to me in my life at all as an answer to my question of seeking my purpose. Now, 3 years down the track, I'm so I definitely understand what I'm here for.
Yeah, you've come into alignment with it. It kind of feels, and this is a really good statement, right? Because a lot of people, they get the human design chart, they go, what the fork am I supposed to do with this? I don't have any clue about this. I'm still lost on what my fucking purpose is, right? Trina, I see you put your hand up, right? But like you said, if you follow that strategy, that authority, what happens? You live your purpose, like you said.
It's already happening. And then you're reading bits in your chart and you're like, oh, yeah. Oh, I'm doing that. I get that now. Yeah.
Oh, look at me go.
That's my turning point. And a lot of the times in readings, I walk out, especially if I'm always excited to do a reading, but some in particular just feel like you want to give them all the information. And then at the end, you're like, oh, no, I definitely overwhelmed them. Like, that's just too much. And then you just have to trust that everything happens as it should. So
they got all the information they needed. Absolutely. Well, I think it's time, now that we've had a little bit of a chat about soul purpose and the incarnation cross, I'd really love to dive into these 2 ladies here, because I know that Trina is sitting on the edge of her seat, but she is really curious, right? And she submitted some questions for those watching live. She submitted some questions here, and I'm just going to read it to you. and she says, I believe we are predestined. So I'm curious to know, why am I on this earth, and where is my success, and if there is a field? So, question to you beautiful ladies here on the panel today. You've had a chance to have a look at Trina's chart. You've had a chance to process that information as responders, because I do believe every type responds just in their own way, through their own strategy and their own authority. So I would love to hear, Lucy, from you first. What is Trina's big life purpose from your chart? What do you make of Trina's chart, and what do you make of her purpose? Would love to hear. And I'm going to see if it will let me share Trina's design chart, just so everyone else can see what we're talking about while we're talking. Go right ahead, Lucy.
All righty. So I've just pulled up Trina's chart as well. So I'm looking at it as I'm reading along. And so we're talking about Trina's life purpose here. And what I'm looking at, first of all, is her profile. So, which it's funny because Trina and Jennifer have got the same profile, actually.
Yes, and that was totally unanticipated. I actually didn't realize that when I'd sent them through, but that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So her profile is
a 3-5, which is, I think I have more to say to Jen about the profile than Trina in this regard. But the 3-5 means that you're here to try a lot of things and learn through trial and error. So you can't be told. You can't be told that this is what I've got to do, because you won't listen anyway. You have to have the physical experience of it yourself to gain the wisdom, So because you also have an undefined G center, your life path is not fixed. So you're not meant to, and I say that, of course you can have an undefined G center and, do the same thing for the rest of your life. I've seen that in many people as well. But you have got the opportunity to try a little bit over here and have a little taste over here and do this thing and have a little taste over here. And that is what keeps you young and keeps your spirit ignited. And it's very important. Your spirit is very important, because it is your conscious sun is gate 55. And gate 55 is all about enlivening the spirit, but it also means you're a little bit moody. So you can have the lows and the highs. In actual fact, you've got two emotional waves plus your conscious sun in the gate 55. So there's lots of emotions going on here for you, which possibly might have felt like in your life that it's thrown you off course. But in actual fact, it's where you gain all your wisdom. And it's through gathering these life experiences and pouring your emotions into creative endeavors is how you're going to be able to, I suppose, take that emotional energy and put it to good use. Which is what's going to help you to feel like you are in alignment. So if you resonate with being creative, I'm not too sure, but you definitely are. You've got also you've got the three gates coming off your G center, 7, 1, and 13, which are leadership qualities. So if you've got the energy, which in your unconscious sun and earth is the channel of charisma, which is a really fast putting things into action really quickly. If your sacral is lit up, And I think through that process, you can bring people along for the ride through those leadership qualities that you have as well. So just to reiterate all of that, I don't think there is one path that you're here to take. You're here to taste, and you're here to gain lots of different experiences and gain your wisdom from that, and stay interested in life, to stay curious about life, and to take the emotional energy and put it into creative endeavors that your sacral wants to do.
Yeah. Thank you, Lucy.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. Might take you some time to process this, because, you know, you've got 3 women who are just about to feed you a whole bunch of juicy information, and you're just going to be like, nom, 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 taking it all in. So please give yourself, as generators and managers, give yourself some space to respond as well. Yeah. Just as a, so.
And another thing I'm just going to throw in there is, to be, you're here to also be vulnerable and honest with that whole process.
I'm checking the boxes.
Good.
She's got her 4-leaf clover. She's all on track. Beck, what is your take on Trina's incarnation cross and her desire to know what she is here for?
I don't really have much info that I can share, unfortunately, on the incarnation cross, but as someone with an undefined G center, there's a lot of trust, because we do want to find our direction. Like, I think we're sort of conditioned to know that we should know where we're going in life and what we're doing and set goals, and it's very liberating to just realize that you're not here necessarily to know your direction in life. More just how, for me anyway, it's more about how it's going to feel when you get there, how you want to feel in your days. And especially someone with the emotional waves, I think you just need that flexibility in your life, that you can have your emotional waves and give yourself space for that and honor the emotional waves. And then in terms of having an open head and open ajna, you're not here to know things. So there's a lot of pressure, I think, to know what you're doing, where you're going in your life. And I have those undefined as well. So I don't feel any pressure. Well, I do, of course, but I try not to feel the pressure to know a lot of things. So, and she has the defined root. So there's a really good sense of confidence. You don't feel the pressure to move. So if you can really sit in that energy of not really feeling the pressure for the external world. So I guess, without knowing Trina very well, that would sort of be where I would say some deconditioning tools might be helpful if you are feeling pressure to know where you're headed in life.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Beck. How are you feeling, Trina, so far? We still have Sunny, but
well, you know, the good thing is I've just felt a lot of confirmation about, hey, I'm just enjoying the ride.
Good girl. Yes, and that's what you're here for, to enjoy the goddamn ride.
Yeah, I've been thrown through a few hoops. I've been taught huge lessons on tolerance, patience, compassion, and I guess, you know, it's all working out.
It's all working out in your favor. There is no place you need to be. There is just wherever the wind takes you, Trina. Yeah. Literally.
My friends used to poke me about that, but you know what? In their older years, they're going, you always had that. You know, they're only just finding it now in their 60s.
That's really interesting. That is really interesting. And that's part of the conditioning. Sorry, Beck.
I just wanted to say thank you for that feedback, Trina, because I just finished saying, like, I don't feel any pressure to know, but I do feel pressure to know. And you asked me about the incarnation cross, and I had to say, I don't know about your incarnation cross, but this is what I've got for you. So I really appreciate that feedback.
See? And this is where and this is what I'm kind of getting at, and why I wanted it to be so interactive. And we'll get to you, Sunny. I find it really interesting. And Jamie has commented she's finding it hard to relate to others as a completely different type in a generator world, because as we know, generators take up a lot of space in this earth. But this is the thing, like we start on one little thing, such as the incarnation cross, and we've gone down rabbit holes of G centers and root centers and different aspects of how this all comes about for yourself. How not just one thing is linked to the only thing that you do. Like your incarnation cross is not, it might give you insight to what you do, but it is not the only thing that you do. Does that make sense? So Sunny, love to hear from you, my love.
Sure. Wow. Thank you for all this insights. I feel, well, I can learn more about all of this amazing thing. So like I talk about, when the incarnation for me is the activation sequence in gene keys. And among these four, the 55.3, 59.9, 59.3 and 34.5, 20.5. Really the key is the radian. That is 20.5. If we can have a healthy, happy life experience, and everything will fall into the right place. And another key is very important is the pearl in the gene keys is also personality Jupiter. And that would be 49. So you think about 55, 49, those two are really the fire. They got a lot of energy. Those are the force to let the sleeping phoenix to wake up. So Trina, you got tons of things going on, but because you are the right cross, so you always experience yourself by the 3. But the 5 actually indicated you're going to be bringing some solutions, because you bring it all, you play it all. So
you've been there, done that.
The wisdom, so you can bring in to share, because 5 is the fixer, right? 5 is the leader, and 3 is the changer. So you have all the package to change this humanity in the way it's supposed to bring more peace. And the 20 is really the way for you to shift from the force become the majesty. So it gene key is different level of consciousness, so it provide you a different level of the tool. Most of us living the low vibration, that will be the shadow frequency. So in 55, when you're not aware, you are victimize yourself. You think you're not going to do this, you're not good enough, and you always think about something's not right, something's not justice, because that's a victim view. But in the end, because your journey, you become free. So your expression, the highest level for your life purpose, is just to free yourself and be rising up phoenix, because that's all about human design. We want to raise up from the ashes, become a freedom spirit. So that's what I see.
I love that. That's really nice.
That. Yeah, I've been challenged, and I have my life has been a very strong sense about fair and just, and of and through all the experiences, yes, I can relate to what you say. The healing has come with just understanding that I can be just an observer.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Lucy. You said you threw up your hand. You wanted to share something.
Yeah, I just wanted to add a little piece onto the end, because I thought it was Jennifer that I wanted to save the 3-5 knowledge for, but it was actually Trina when I went back and looked at my notes. And that was, I always think of the 3-5, Winnie the Pooh, the characters in Winnie the Pooh. So Tigger is the bouncy one, and Eeyore is the sad one. So you have signed up to be here for the School of Hard Knocks. That's how you learn. And but each time you get knocked down, you're meant to be bouncing like Tigger. And quite often I have read for a lot of 3-5s, and sometimes life turns them into a little bit of an Eeyore. And it's just a reminder that actually your true essence and your true spirit is to be like Tigger. And that's actually where you're going to, and I think it relates to the waking up of the phoenix as well, really just allowing that spirit to lead the way. But that's what I always think about. Don't ever forget you're here to keep young and youthful and keep trying and get curious. But now you don't actually, and gather the wisdom along the way. Yeah. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Well, Jen, it's your turn. Ladies, I'm going to start with Beck first on she's warmed up, she's eased in. We're going to start with Jen, and we're going to go with Jen, and Jen's questions were on her incarnation cross. She would like to expand more on part of her purpose to serve, because her secondary question is a detailed one around the Mercury planet. So before we go into that one, let's talk about Jen's incarnation cross and what do you see there?
Well, as you know, I have the same incarnation cross as Jennifer. So it's very exciting. And it was funny because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to say, but I've been talking about it this week because we're transiting gate 39, which is the provocateur. And it's about provocation of people. So I am aware, and you may be aware too, that from time to time you say things that really, it's like scratching the wounds, I think, and you see the hurt. But I know that I didn't create all that hurt, if that makes sense. Like that hurt was already there. I've just opened the wound up again.
It's like picking the sore, you said, I think the other day, didn't you?
Yeah. And so then that can sometimes not be well received. And then you've got the 38 in your sun, which I also have, which is the fighter. And it's about opposition. And you actually have the whole channel of strugglers. So you've got, you're here to be a warrior in this life. And you have the energy for struggle. So your incarnation cross is about searching for purpose and having the energy to struggle. And I always think of that song, You Can Go Your Own Way. I think it's by Fleetwood Mac. So you have the energy to struggle. You have the knowledge in the 28 gate about actually what is worth struggling for. So if you only have the 38, you can fight for the wrong things, but you have the knowledge of what's worth fighting for. And I feel like this knowledge is like, it can be really helpful for people. Quite often people are worrying about things and I'm like, I don't think that's really worth fighting for.
Worth fighting for.
Yeah, it's not. I'm like, I don't know why you're worrying about that. I don't think that's important in the kindest way possible. So yeah, and then the 48 that's in your unconscious, that's the well. So it's the energy to go deep. So I really feel like it's your purpose here to help people uncover what needs looking at. But then the hard part is, and then knowing that you can help them with that struggle. You've got the information, especially with your 3-5 profile. You've done a lot of experimentation.
Been there, done that, yeah.
Yep, and you're out in the world telling people. I think you said that you had a podcast, so you're telling people about what you've learned through your struggles, what's worth fighting for. And then I look at your Mercury, because you've mentioned your Mercury, and you've got the 28 in your Mercury, which again is part of that channel of struggle, which is you're ready to take risks in order to find the meaning of life. And then in your 58, on your conscious Mercury, it is the gate of vitality and the joyous. So this is about loving a challenge and drive for improvement. So you feel a pressure to be of service, and that is actually part of the channel of perfectionism, which you also have. I hope I haven't lost you. I feel like I went on a big journey in your chart. So it's about the energy to improve. But one of the things about this channel is that it needs to be a wait to be invited. It's a projected channel. So if you offer the criticism for improvement, which you probably can see what needs to be improved, but the person wasn't ready to receive that, it's not going to go as well as when people ask you for advice, and then you're able to, you've got the right advice and they love hearing the advice. So when I heard about my incarnation cross being the Rax 4 of tension, I was not excited because it's about bringing tension into the world. So I've had to do a lot of work around that, because it's sort of the realization that I'm bringing the struggles. So I'm like, why does it happen to me? And then when I think about it, like, well, I kind of started this whole journey because I actually believe in this mission that I've assigned to myself and created this tension or drama in the workplace or in life. And I've got the energy to push and get it done. So I hope that's helpful.
I'm sure it is. I am sure.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Thank you. Great perspective.
See? Sunny, what's your take for Jen?
Yeah, the first things I see it, of course, is pure generator. I'm a generator too. And I see a wide open head and agina and solar plexus. And the G center I can talk about later, but look at all the top from the throat to the top. That means she's really open for other people's opinions and open to express maybe somebody's idea, because in a way that's her genius too, because she doesn't need to adjust herself. She can actually relate to people when they talk about something. So inspiration is constantly downloaded to Jen. And then because the environment right now, we all know the human field right now, the whole field is not that good. Everybody's struggle and angry and all that. So the advice for Jen is, because you are coming here to bring the tension, just like Rebecca shared, but the tension is not only for you to really angry at yourself, it's to provide the energy to let other people know they have their purpose. So you cannot provoke that, because you have to say it. Sometimes not your opinion, because you don't, right? But when you say it, maybe make somebody angry, you feel like I maybe not going to say that. But no, you are creating tension. So your role is really coming to share other people they don't see, because you can feel it, you can relate to it, particularly the energy of the emotions. So when people are on the right of emotions, it's not yours, but you can definitely sensitive about that. And for you, that become a very, the boot camp for the emotion, right? We all need somebody like you to lead us through the emotion. So you become an expert to do that. Even you feel tension yourself, that's how we thank you for your service. But you coming here to share the struggle, and you provoke others for them to go align with their purpose. But you have a grounded, the root center and split center, and the sacral is very strong for your G. And just keep up the good work. And we all want to see you succeed, because you are everyone, right? If you succeed, everybody succeed too. So.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Sunny, for the encouragement. Thanks.
Yeah, and that G center for you, Jen, is defined, unlike Trina, who has her path, wherever the wind takes her. The G center for you being defined is very certain. You very much know where you're headed, right? In that direction, even though you may not feel like it through that tension or that struggle. You do have that clarity that comes from within. Lucy, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about what I can add on that might be a little bit different from what's been said. I am looking at all the openness, the head, the ajna, the throat, the emotional center. With the throat, I think that this is a blessing in the fact that, especially that you've got your podcast. So there's obviously a message that you're here to share, and what's beautiful about having a completely open throat is that you can be very adaptable in your environment. So whether you're with regards to the audience that you're talking to, so you will be able to read the room and be able to then know what to share, and your voice can change according to the environment that you're in and the audience that you're talking to. And the thing about the struggle and the judgment is, I suppose the judgment in particular is, it's not about the judgment on self. I think that sometimes in the lower frequencies of this channel of judgment that we can get very become a perfectionist and wanting to fix all the things about ourselves. But really it's about looking outward and being able to see so clearly. You've got this gift to be able to see so clearly what is wrong and what needs fixing, and then deciding, do I want to struggle to make this change for the world? Another beautiful thing about your chart is that you have the 952, which is the channel of concentration. Now, you will need to be there from the inception of that idea right through to when I always have images of like, you know how I just spoke about the 3-5, the Tigger and the Eeyore. I've got images for all the little gates and channels. And for the 952, which is also a pressure, which is also coming from the root, I think of it as a bow and arrow. And so it's the precision and the concentration to look at that that bullseye and fling that arrow and make it hit that bullseye. But in order to do that, you have to be there you can't just walk into a struggle, for example, and know what to do straight away. You have to understand it and start the movement yourself, I suppose, in a way. You to be there for each step along the way until you hit that bullseye. But you've got that concentration to see it all the way through. And and you've got the pressure in order to do that. And then when it comes to living out your incarnation cross and creating the struggle and knowing the direct route in which you're going to take to get there, it is you've got the 1034, which is the channel of exploration, and this is a very individual channel. And so it's about being a leader through living your life well for yourself. And so whatever that struggle is, whatever you're fixing in the collective, whatever you're talking about, whatever you're here to do, you're going to be able to mutate other people by living that yourself. So one thing about a 5-1, for example, which is my profile, or a 5th line, which you've got the 5th line, is we're really good at being able to tell other people what to do. We're really good at it. But sometimes,
not at all.
Sometimes we're not doing that for ourselves. But you have the energy to also do it for yourself. Lead by example. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have you got it, Jen? You've got it. You really got it. You sure? Now we are just hitting the top of the hour, and I'm so grateful for everybody. We've managed to, I think, answer most of the ladies' questions, and I don't want to keep you all too much longer. And I know that there have been some people watching. What I would like to bring to the table now is just, is there anything finally that you have, because I know that you've probably looked at that chart 17 times across the last 3 or 4 days. Is there anything in particular for these 2 women here on this panel today who have graciously given up their time and energy to be read? Is there anything that our three panelists have to share just lastly with either of them. Just raise your hand if there's something that you just like, I've just got to tell her, I've just got to like give her this information. Is there anything at all that you would like to share, or do you feel like it's good? All right then, very good. Now, our participants, do we have any questions now that you've had some time to respond? Just briefly, did you have anything that you would like to ask our panelists while we're here, just for a few minutes?
Well, I have a
Trina?
million questions, and I can't think of one that comes first. It's just triggered so many thoughts, and I've got to replay this to slow the information that I received down. But thank you very much for your time and input.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. All right. So I'm going to stop the screen share now. We've seen the charts, we know the bits, and we know the pieces. All right. So thank you so much for your time here today, ladies. I truly, truly appreciate you. Is there a free gift or something that you would like to share with our beautiful audience here today that you would like to offer? Sunny, Lucy, Beck, do you have anything in particular that you would like to share? Please let us know. All right, Lucy, we'll start with you.
So if people can go, okay. First of all, I'll start with what it is.
Rewind.
And so if people have their chart and they're looking at some of their undefined centers, I have created a hypnosis audio for each center that helps with the deconditioning process, because we're generally speaking, that's the areas that we
Suffer the most
from, because we've taken everybody else's in. And then so I've created one for every center. So if you have if you're looking at one of your undefined centers and you would like a hypnosis audio for that, then I'm happy to give that to you. So it'll just be one. You choose the center that you want the most help with, I suppose, or the one that you're working with at the moment. And how you can access that is if you just go onto my website, lucyellis.com.au, and then on the very bottom of, I think, every page, there is a little form that you fill out and just put in the notes, I'm here for the freebie. And I'll get back
Fabulous.
to you. Yeah.
Thank you. And what was that website again? Sorry?
Lucy Ellis, LucyEllis.com.au.
Thank you. Thank you. Sunny, do you have a beautiful offer to share with us today?
Well, it's really my honor to read people's gene keys profile, because that's your hologenetic profile. We all know we are part of the whole. We are very important for the whole university. So not even a universe. And so I want to just kind of go, well, we are in learning, right? We are all in the university. So I offer this 30 minutes free reading, gene keys reading, because you might know your human design chart, you know, all the center or something. You might want another level of your consciousness. So you can actually tap into your shadow. That's every shadow has a gift. Once you really know your shadow, the shadow is no longer there for you, because you shift automatically to a different consciousness. So I will put, actually, I'm going to put a link in there. It's just book a call. And in that, you can provide your information and we can have fun in 30 minutes.
Fantastic. Thank you. Beck, did you have anything you wanted to share today?
Things. One, it's sort of blowing my mind that Lucy's offered this hypnosis audio, because this morning I was thinking about how much of my deconditioning and the open centers that the ladies have, how much work I've done deconditioning those through listening to Lucy's audios. And I was thinking, I don't know if she's even offering them on her page. So I'm always just still surprised about how energetically we're all connected, and that kind of in my mind. And then the other thing is, if anyone wants to have some guidance on their Mercury placements and what they're here to express and communicate, if they wanted to just drop me a message, my Facebook page is Embracing Energy, or on Instagram, I'm Embracing Energy, and I'd just be happy to send them whatever bubbles up. I'm trying to intuitively help people.
That sounds super cool.
I find different things just bubble up. So if someone sends me a message, they want to know about their Mercury placements. If they don't have a chart, I can do their chart for them. And we'll see where we go with that. I don't know. I've got an undefined G.
That's it. Let's see where the wind takes us. What a fantastic offer. How I don't know, it kind of feels like something that you can respond to, right? But something that feels good for you, especially as the emotional generator. You have to follow that feeling of good. So anyone who has the emotional center, such as Trina, you know, feeling good is probably top priority as part of that strategy. You know, following your emotional wave, but making sure that it's going to make you feel good at the end of it, because what doesn't make you feel good will deplete you, right? So, and that goes for everybody, and burnout is a real issue right now. I've noticed a lot of it going on around the planet right now. So be mindful of that. Thank you so much, ladies. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here and having this conversation. I know we've gone a few minutes over. I really do appreciate your time. And for those who have been watching, just finally, Jamie has said that, and I said this earlier, that she was finding it hard to relate as a projector, which is one of the 5 types in a generator world. Does anyone have any quick 30-second insight for Jamie that might help her understand how to start relating to a projector in a generator world? Just a quick sentence.
I have a son's projector. So as a generator raised a projector son, I definitely see he's struggling. But he using my sacral as he's a gamer, so he can play more game. But then after that, so I think for projectors really need to make sure the environments, and also don't overuse. Don't think you can tough it out, because really projector need to calm down and need to have their own space. Don't together with generator too long. They need to have distance from us. And also I think I have another partner, he's a projector. Sometimes the bitterness is just all over, he not getting out. So if the projector, really the daily routine is to decondition, because that's not yours. It's all projecting somebody's emotions, somebody's this, somebody's that. They hold it too long, become so bitter themselves. So that's what I see.
Absolutely. I have a son projector as well, and he is very much that. Lucy or Rebecca, did you have anything you wanted to share for a projector in a generator world?
Save your energy for the people that recognize you.
Ooh, that's deep. I like that one. Yes. I often tell my clients and those in the Aligned by Design tribe who are projectors, I just want to put my 2 cents in here because it feels very, I consider you, I call you a Mars bar. Now, for those in America, I'm pretty sure you get Mars bars over there, but here in Australia, there is a slogan that goes with Mars bars, and it's work, rest, and play, right? There used to be an advertisement that you worked, you rest, and you played, right? And it gave you the energy, the time, and the space. And projectors need that, right? They need their energy, they need their time, they need their space. So if I can suggest anything, just become a Mars bar. That's chocolatey nougat, caramel, gooey goodness. But when you follow that strategy of working and resting and playing simultaneously, you get that balance in yourself. All right. Thank you so much, ladies. Sophia, we have all wrapped up. Is there anything that you would like to say finally before we finish off?
Yes, and first of all, thank you. Thank you, Alison, and thank you for all these amazing things. I'm sitting here thinking, oh, I think I should have put my hand up to find out about my chart. But that's for part 2. We have to come back in part 2.
Right.
But Alison, and I know you've mentioned a little bit about your tribe. Would you like to tell us a little more about your tribe and what are the other benefits that people can get from joining it?
So my tribe is the Aligned by Design tribe. I host this every single week. It's timed for an hour, but as always, we generally go over. But what we tend to do is we tend to follow the solar transit, which is walking the wheel of the mandala, every single week. So every single week we talk about a new gate, a new energy, a new influence. But there's also little tidbits that we learn and go deep in. Like I think a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about, you said this earlier, Jen, about the environments and about our perspective, which is, you know, how you manifest. There's a specific way that that people using human design can understand how they manifest. You know, and we just share fun, simple things like that inside the tribe as well. So it is every Thursday at 10 a.m. So if you are interested in joining, please do so. I'm sure the links will be in the comments. But the benefit of this is not only do you get to know about your own human design chart and you get a little bit of fun, a little bit of connection with other women, there are so many more tribes that you can actually join as part of your membership within the Sacred You community. So, you know, you're not just getting one connecting tribe, you're getting three. You know, you could do astrology, you could do feng shui, you could do meditation. Like there's a whole bunch of other things that communities share and offer, not just human design. So, but we would love to have you inside the human design tribe.
We would indeed, and as you said, yes, we do have about 20 other tribes that people can join, and you can join us just for $1. That's a great thing, and for that $1, you have 2 weeks to come and talk to Alison. I mean, you get, you know, like, okay, it's not one-on-one coaching, but a small group to know all about human design and your chart and the gates, and which is a whole different language. For $1, you get 2 weeks, plus you get 2 weeks to try out all our other tribes. So do click on those links and come and join us today. Because Alison, your tribe is coming up in tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 24 hours or just under 24 hours now from now, tomorrow.
Absolutely. So come click on those links today and come and join, because then you get to join the tribe tomorrow. Now, just quickly say a big thank you for everyone who's watching. Jamie Lee has been commenting. She's saying, thanks so much. I have a generator and a mani generator son. She's been using that a lot. Alison, thank you. Loves her naps. And Gemma is saying, great tribe, highly recommended. Thank you, Gemma. It is so appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. And for everyone else who's watching, do again, click on the links, connect with these amazing women who've just given up more than an hour of their time to come and share their experts and wealth and their knowledge and their passion about human design. Click on them, connect with them. You never know what's going to come out of it. And also check out what's coming up soon. We've got lots of other panel discussions coming up next week, and come and, like I said, come and join. Check out sacredyou.love, sacredyou.love, and check out our website and come and join us soon. We won't go into the Harmony Fest. We'll talk about Harmony Fest next time. But of course, we have Harmony Fest coming up. I just remembered. Harmony Fest in September. 3 days of virtual stall holders, masterclasses, and online readers. And of course, Alan will be part of it as well. Alison will be part of it as well. Thank you.